Name there.
Right, take it seriously.
Oh, the crystal chandeliers.
You never know where this show's taking you. I thought the boy done well, and so he's definitely an athlete, Linda. Definitely an athlete, and I felt we'll not see the best of him. He's playing on the right hand side of defence, but look, you're a young boy. You just want to get in the team.
See, when you saw his interview as well with RTV, Ox, he looked about 12, and when you think about this season, these young boys, we've had to rely on them, and it's terrific the way they just take their opportunity. They don't have any fear as well. And it was interesting when Michael Beale was asked about him as well, about the fact that he's not left-footed. And he was talking about how he can pass inside and it can be a bit of an advantage. But I think you're right, though. They like to play in the proper side of the pitch, don't they, in terms of if they're right or left-footed. So, okay, absolutely. And I hope he plays tomorrow night and he's an absolute stormer, because we've got some cracking wee players just now. And it's good for the club.
We'll see where it takes us. I mean, you could end up... But stranger things have happened, Bridgeman. You get a starter inside of the park, and lo and behold, you get the jersey.
Well, if there's a chance there for him, I don't know what the score is with Borna, his contract and so on and so forth, but if there's a chance, the young boy should take it, because he didn't look out of place at the weekend, a wee bit I saw anyway. He didn't look out of place at all. When I've seen him playing at right back, standing in for Tab, and he's done all right. He's not got the same finesse as Tab, but not a great player. He's a smashing player. He's going to be a good fullback, whichever side. I would prefer him to stay on the left. It gives him that chance to shine, because they would always get compared to Tab. He's a bit heavy. But I think the boy King would be a better right back, and the boy Devine on the left would be quite good.
We'll see what it takes us. And if he does start tomorrow night, we wish him all the best. But it'll be interesting to see what the team will be. I think McGregor will start, and I'm going to go that Davis and Golson will start, and they'll play maybe 60 minutes. I think he gave us a wee snippet about that. I might be wrong, but that's just my gut feeling. Cavill playing in the left back's up for grabs. And then I think Kamara, Jack. No. I think he'll play. No, I'll take Ryan Jack out of that. I think he'll go with Kamara and Lundstrom with Tillman, and then Kent, Morelos, and Cholak. There you go. I'll go with Devine at left back. I don't think we've got a lot of options, really.
No.
But we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me also if maybe Ryan Jack appeared there. He's played at full back before, because it's not friendly, but you never know. Right, okay. The Michael Beale era. I was talking to somebody today, and he says that when Waller got the job, when Graham Souness left, I know the circumstances are a bit different, Linda. But people weren't enamoured. They thought, it's maybe not a big name, and we shouldn't have went for an obvious choice. Could this be a start of a different era? Could it be an inspired choice?
I mean, it could be, Ox, and I think at the time, obviously when Gio went, Michael Beale's name was kind of thrown into the mix right away, and there was a few other names mentioned too. And I heard a few folks saying, it's not a big name, it's not exciting. But see, as soon as he started to speak and you saw him about the club, I think we all started to get a lot more enthusiastic about it. And maybe anybody that had some doubts, maybe those were sort of quickly quashed, He made the point there about the advantage of coming in, even though it's midway through the season, he's not had a pre-season. He does know the players. And with our situation, the fact that there's not going to be a big overhaul just now, it probably was a good move to bring somebody in that had some knowledge of quite a large proportion of the players. I've been impressed with what he says. As Stevie said, he's good to listen to, Michael Beale, so far. He did say that it could all go pear-shaped if he doesn't win games, and everybody's been quite nice to him just now, but I'm quite looking forward to it, a lot more than what I was 4 or 5 weeks ago. And we needed the change, Ox, and let's hope this is the start of something, because we're all about winning games and winning trophies, and that's what we want them to do, isn't it?
Stevie?
Aye, that's what we need them to do. I mean, look, when we were talking about it today, as you said, that when Souness went, we were all expecting a big name, because we're signing big name players. I mean, we took the England international team, but the best of England's the international team. We're signing all big names. Souness was a big name, and then all of a sudden when Walter came in, everybody was maybe thinking, oh, Walter Smith, he's understudy and on. And by the way, look what happened to Walter Smith. Oh, dearie me. Everything's a gamble, Oxter. Everything's a gamble. Let's just give the boy a chance. Get behind him. Linda probably was right in what she said there. When we signed Beale at first, a lot of people were like, oh, right, okay. But after we heard the way he's talking and listening to the players reacting to him, I think we're on a better place together here. You know what I mean? And this could be the start of something really, really great. So we just need to get behind him and just stick with him and get up the Ibrox and give it our all and see where it takes us. And let's hopefully we do go on a long, big, lovely run with him.
You hear? Aye. Listen, they'll know more about on behind the scenes. The people who have re-employed them will know more about on behind the scenes, Linda, than we do. What strings he was pulling on a daily basis, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've been joined with a caller, Ox.
It's Robert. Evening, Robert.
Evening, Ox there. Grisman, Stevie, and last not but least, the pretty one there, Linda. Good evening, all.
Oh, evening, Robert.
Good evening, Robert.
Hi, Stevie, Linda. Hi, I'm good. I'm good, Ox. Obviously, good to see the Rangers back. Your moral battle fever's on. I'm just a wee bit concerned, if I'm being honest. This is usual me getting all nervous before 24 hours before a game. Just a wee bit concerned about the injuries and the defence tomorrow. Going to have to play the young boy, who's got a great future, young boy Devine, and obviously centre-back, who's not a centre-back, in James Sands, and young Leon King, who I thought get through in at the deep end before the World Cup. So I'm just a wee bit concerned with the defence. And if I was going to give you my team up here, I would totally go for this. If it was up to me, I'd go for a 3-5-2. And how you're going to play these guys in positions, don't ask me. But I would go with obviously Alan McGregor. I would start with Connor Goldson. I wouldn't start with him and Ben Davies. I'd start with Connor Goldson and maybe bring Ben Davies on for Connor Goldson later on, depending on how it's going. So I would go McGregor, Connor Goldson, James Sands, and I'm going to put John Lundstrom in there. That's my 3 at the back. Then my 5 midfield, James Tavernier, Ryan Kent, Ryan Jack, Glenn Kamara, Malik Tillman, and Alfredo Morelos with Antonio Kovac up the front. That's my team for the morrow. If I'm picking the team, that's my Rangers team tomorrow.
Can I congratulate you? You've done better than Bridge. You managed to get 11 players in it. Well done. Well done. Well, stranger things have happened. Stevie?
Aye, listen, look, Robert's got a wee concern there. I think it's on the back of our heads going into the game, because if they do play the young boys, they're going to be under pressure, let's be honest. If they're going to play Sands and thing with the Gunners, they're going to be under pressure a wee bit, King of Gunner. But listen, what I seen on Saturday, Robert, I'm hopefully taking that into the game. I hope they don't even get a sniff. And I can't remember, McGregor wasn't even McGregor. It was Thing we made a cracking save in the second half, and then Tav slid in, he chested the ball off a line. And I can't think any more efforts that the Jerry's really had on their goal, apart from that in the second half. But I'm just hoping the way we play high energy football, attacking football, I just hope Hibs don't get a sniff, and I hope we get a couple early goals and settle us right down, Robert. But I see where you're coming from, 100%, see what your concern is. But as Oxford says, we just don't. He's hinted that these, Golson and Ben Davis they're there to be picked, So we just don't know. But listen, onwards and upwards, Robert. Come on now. Come on, Robert.
Listen, Stevie. I totally agree with you saying. I'm just a bit worried because you know the Rangers fans, you know what like we are. If things don't go right in the first 10, 15 minutes, then they start getting on the players back, etc. And this is such an important game tomorrow. We, under no circumstances, have got to get off their flyer. I would even take a Bridgman, although I want us to win it in style. We have got to win it, no cost tomorrow. We have got to win this game and get off the flat and then take it there. And that's my only concern. But I agree with you. Hopefully, if we play young Devine, and I think he's going to be a great player, and same with young Leon King, if we play them, hopefully they'll not have much to do because we'll be pushing at that Hibs goal constantly, and we'll get there and we'll win. But I'm just a wee bit concerned with, as I say, with all the injuries we've had. And I was hoping to have maybe one or two more back. But big Connor Golson coming back, I don't care what anybody says. He's by far our best defender. And I know a lot of Rangers fans, it's half and half with them. Fans say, we should never have given it 4 years. Maybe that's a good point. But at the end of the day, I still think he's by far our best defender. And I'm glad he's coming back, and he couldn't have come back at a better time with the Manx game coming up in the start of January.
Can I say this to you, Robert? Can I say this to you? Watched your post with London. You get a wee strawberry daiquiri down your neck before you go to Ibrox tomorrow. Well, being good hands, mate. You just settle down. I don't want you getting that heart race up. Your heart.
Robert, don't listen to him. You have a Bovril with a brandy in it. That'll do you better.
No, I'll be honest with you. Don't you worry about it. I'll be kind of a half staggering up the 115 stairs up to that club deck. There you go. I'll 2 or 3 in the Loudon Tavern Ibrox Stadium, my favourite bar.
Well done.
Well done.
Robert, just take your time, get up the stairs. It might keep you warm, actually, because it's going to be Baltic tomorrow night.
Wonder, I've blown your Gary's back. He'll be giving me a piggy back up. I can't walk up them anywhere.
I've just had a message from one of the panellists. Do you want to win his blanket for tomorrow night, Stevie?
See him, honestly. See him for rubbing it in. That he should get his name changed to Lord Southside or something, shouldn't he? He really should. Honestly, he goes on and on and on about my jersey. He's an absolute lackey. Absolute lackey.
And by the way, the suit's all his own that he had on at the weekend, but he's paying it up through the Provi. Right, anyway.
Through the Provi. Right,
where are we? Right, Robert, I get your feelings. I get your about Golson. I think when he's without the team, you realise what we've had. Obviously, he's had games where he doesn't play well, but he would still be organising and helping others play well, and we've missed all that, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, look, here's a wee question I'll ask you in the panel, right? The hypothetical question. Keep Connor Golson, hadn't he got that injury? Do you honestly think hand in hand would be 9 points behind?
No, it's a no for me, Linda.
No, we wouldn't, no.
It's a wild. No points for me.
Bridge.
No, we would not be 9 points behind, and that's for sure. No.
Well, I think we've realised how important he is at the moment in time to our team. He organises, and that's a big part of that position, Bridgman, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. And also, the way he plays, and people respect him and look for him. And you know, the amount of covering he does for Tavernier was quite incredible. I mean, obviously, I allowed Tavernier to play football up the back, which I'm afraid Golson probably couldn't do as good as him. But I think he's great for us. He's a real rock for the manager. very steady. Look, as you said a minute ago, some games he wasn't as the great player that we think he is sometimes, but no, I think for the minute he went off against Liverpool, we've never been good, in my opinion. Not as good as we should be anyway.
Oh,
yes, mate.
Can I make another wee point I'd like to bring up? I hear a lot of my fellow Bears speaking about, right, get rid of Morelos needs to go, Kent needs to go. And the one that really kind of annoys me a wee bit, I understand the situation with Kent and Morelos, and I haven't, right, see Alfie, that game against St Mirren done it for me. I've stuck by that guy as well. Stevie was saying earlier on yourself. But what he done that St Mirren game has really disgusted me, right? So I don't want to get into it the night before a game. But the one that really annoys me is people are all talking about Glenn Kamara needs to go as well. Now, I'm hoping Michael Beale will get the Glenn Kamara back that we seen the game against PSV Eindhoven, the first half, remember, away from home, when Glenn Kamara was by far the best player in the park, and look at the players PSV Eindhoven have got. So I'm hoping that Michael Beale will get Glenn Kamara back to the Glenn Kamara we know, who's a top-class midfielder. And all this talk about 6 million, and good on you, Michael Beale, and you said you'll never sell him for that, and good on you, Michael Beale, in that interview the day you're saying about the value of the players. I want to see Glenn Kamara get back to the way he is, and then if we have to sell him in the summer, let's do it and try and get 10, 12, 13, 14 million. No, that's 6 million, because I'm fed up my team taking the scraps and that lot across the other end of the city. Where the hell do they need their bumming other players up, and now they've got the best right back in the world as ever seen, you know what I mean? So I'm fed up with all that. Get Glenn Kamara back to playing the way he can, and then get top dollar for and shake hands with him and say, well done, 50 grand, Glenn Kamara, you've just made us 12, 13 million. That's what we need to aim for. No this, or get him out the door in January because he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, he's had an injury as well, mate. He's coming back from an injury. He's another one that's been injured at times. Yeah, and that's part of our frustration. You know, you can go through that whole team and you talk about Morelos, and you don't need to go back a bit further. You talk about Kent. They've had performances they've done. Kent away in Dortmund. Morelos at times before he got injured. Kamara, Linda, excellent for us. Tavernier at times. Ryan Jack, when he was fit and consistent for us. John Lundstrom had a purple patch at times last year. And you think, you know, we know you can do it, but you need to do it collectively. We need to get a bit of form, yeah?
Yeah. And Michael Beale's this is what we were saying earlier on, it's good to listen to him, isn't it? It's very clever of him as well to put that in, you know, reminding everybody, not constantly talking about the European final, but he did say that these are players that went undefeated in a league campaign only 18 months ago. They got a European final. So Robert's right. Certain other clubs, their players are talked up all the time. So it is time that some people in our club started to talk them up. But he was clever, and he did recognise, Robert, that they're perhaps not performing as well as they should be. He said that, but he was quite keen to say that their value is greater than what it would appear to be just now. And I think that's a brilliant point you make about Kamara, Robert. We've got to get him back playing well. If that's to stay at the club and help us get success, or we sell him on, because he's probably one of the most sellable assets we've got just now because of the length of the contract left with Morelos and Kent. Kamara is probably somebody that we would look at as being quite high value if we can get him back playing. So I totally agree with you, Robert. We've got to give him a chance.
A really good shout there.
We'll see where it goes, but you have to get in the team and you need to play well, Stevie. That's all we're asking for, isn't it?
Yep. Certainly is. Am I not right in saying Glenn Kamara get finished player of the year?
Aye.
International team.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. So why would you let a player like that go for 6 million? I share Robert's frustration there. I totally agree with him. I don't want Glenn Kamara to leave Rangers. That's one of the guys you want to keep, because if anybody can get the boy moving, I think Michael Beale can. So for me, he's a keeper. I definitely want him. And I'm sorry, I don't like talking about any Rangers players, but Kent and Morelos have just been frustrating. Most of the Bears go week in, week out. We know these boys can do it, and it's just, we need it. 1 and 3 is no good for Glasgow Rangers. It's got to be, it's got to be an odd game where you don't perform, no the opposite way about, And for me, Glenn Kamara, 100% baller, good football player. I mean, you get him on song, oh man, he's absolutely fantastic.
When he does play well, Bridge, he makes the game look so easy, doesn't he?
Absolutely, pal. The guys you're speaking about, I'm living in hope that they do pick up form, they do shine, both for the manager and for the fans, because we deserve a bit of luck as a club, a bit more luck than we've had, and we need to get out of the doldrums as far as our football is concerned. And those two guys we're speaking about can actually do that if they can get a bit of form. So let's go and do it. It's over to you, Mr. Manager. Get it sorted.
I will see, but it's got the desire's got to be there. I don't know if the manager can put the desire in, Linda.
Yeah, and I think, I know Kamara has had a bit of an injury, as you said, Ox, but there was a couple of times when we did see him, he just didn't look the same player. He looked dejected, but I think he was obviously didn't really fit into Gio's style of play either. I don't think that brought out the best in Kamara when he did get his chance, and I think a few of the players could probably say that, albeit they still should have played better. I think we all agree that. But let's just hope he can get rejuvenated and first and foremost, help us win games before he starts thinking about a move potentially in January or even the summer. It would more likely be the summer, I think, if he was going to go.
Aye, we'll see. Robert, you had two up front in your team. You played a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
Cholak and Morelos, is that your rationale to get more players in the box?
Listen, definitely. I don't care who we play, Ibrox, who we play. We should always be on the front foot. We should always be getting men in that box and gone for the jugular. And that's what's annoyed me in the past, especially with Gio. You know what I mean? You see Cav going up the wing and you have Colac in the box and you're like, where's the rest of them? Come on, get me. We should have 3, 4, 5 players in that box constantly. And so that's what I'm. Let's go out there, Rangers, tomorrow night. Let's go out there and hopefully we will see a bit. And it's all right, people saying if we did well tomorrow, why were they not doing that under Deal? We don't know the circumstances. We don't know what was going on behind the scenes. So, and I'll bring up another wee point. It sounds as though I'm sticking up for the players tonight, right? Which I am, because I love every Rangers player. And I know now and again I'll have a wee go at some of them and call them names that I don't really mean. But Ryan Kent, I'm going to bring Ryan Kent up again. I must have missed that. I'm going to bring Ryan Kent up, Oxford. And Oxford, you're a man that's good with stats, right? Now, Ryan Kent's return, goal-wise, has been pathetic. Right? But what I like about Ryan Kent is he never hides. He'll run back, he'll get in there, and he'll get. And maybe his problem is he doesn't get enough help with i.e. Bomber or other players, no help them out there, and there's 2 or 3 players running about him, right? But he can do it all right, because he has, on his game, all the players playing 10 out of 10, Ryan Kent's one of our best players, if not our best player, right? So, see, the thing is, his goal return has been shocking, but I don't think, I could be wrong here, Ox, I don't think his assists have been shocking. Did Ryan Kent not get about 20 assists last season? And I know that's last season, but did you not was he not one of the top performers in Scotland for assists last season? And I don't think he's too far behind the world great Jota, as they call him. I don't think he's too far behind him in assists this season, is he?
I think you read a few weeks ago that James Henry and Kent were up there, mate, weren't they? I'll see if I can find it, mate.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen something up. And Tavernier, you're right, Tavernier, Kent, even maybe Bomber was in the top 5. I'm sure. I think you're right. I'm sure I read something as well. So and we all know we're so frustrated with Ryan Kent. We're so frustrated because we know there's a great player in there. He's on his game. He's a wonderful player, wonderful footballer, and I'm hoping this is another one. Gio will bring him right out the shell. Let him maybe go about the park, play a number 10, wherever you want to go, you go out there and do it for us, Ryan Kent. Don't stay out the wing where Gio told you to stay out there and do the tricks that Mr. Mackay told you to keep to the surface. You go out there and express yourself and play for that shot. And I'm telling you, if he turns it on, we'll be back in this. We'll be back in this league. I'm telling you that right now. If he turns it on, that boy.
All right, there's about 20 minutes to go, and let's come and join us. Give us your thoughts. So let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, I think Kent will divide the support at the moment, if I'm being fair, Linda.
Yeah, absolutely. And Robert's right. He does try. He never hides. He's always wanting to get involved. But he definitely he needs to score more goals. I mean, there's quite a few hasn't there, Ox? Because if you think about across the front, kind of a 5-6 players that are played up there, either as centre forward or wide, we've only got Ryan Kent and I think Sakala that have scored one goal each. The rest of them that have played up there haven't even got a goal, and we've been quite heavy relying on Cholak. So to win things, I do think you have to have a more of a spread in terms of the goals returns. I think you do. If you look back to the 55 season, if you look at all the numbers, I think Ryan Kent had something like, I think he had 11 or 12 goals that season, Robert. So, we do need these players to start chipping in. You can't rely on that, just a centre forward getting you all the goals. So it would be good if he just started to score a bit more regularly, Robert, I think. But I do agree with you. He never hides and he does try.
Linda, it's so frustrating when you see Ryan Kent rip Borussia Dortmund with all the class players apart, home and away. He done the same. He was good against Red Star Belgrade in the European games. And it's so frustrating. And you think to yourself, how can he do that against world-class players and yet he goes out against the Motherwells and Livingstons and he can't. So it's frustrating. We all know there's a great player in there. And let's hope we're going to see that player that we've seen the 55 season. Let's hope we're going to see it start for tomorrow night. That's all I'm hoping for.
Aye, I hope we're all hoping on that, and he kicks on. And if he wants to stay with the club, he fights for the jersey, Stevie, yeah?
100%. I mean, I said it at the start. Obviously, Robert was listening to what we were talking about, Ryan Kent, and I said, I hope Michael Beale proves me wrong and gets him back to what we know he could be. And I think Robert's just touched on that himself there now. Listen, the word frustrating, I mean, you're talking about Ryan Kent. We know what he can do to defences. We know what he can be. And he's just so frustrating. Was it maybe the way Gio was playing him? Well, we'll find that out on Thursday, won't we? We'll find that out on Thursday. See that hugging the touchline instead of making that diagonal run through into the box for Borna to slide it through. I mean, Borna took a lot of stick for Kent hugging that touchline when he should have been making runs for him and making Borna play it sideways or back all the time. He's pushing up the park and then he's getting the options up front because Kent's hugging the touchline. Borna used to get it in the neck. Now, I just hope and pray that Michael Beale, the way he's going to maybe give him a wee free roll in some of these games and let the boy express himself, and I hope he proves me wrong. But see, for 40 grand a week, or 35 grand to 40 grand a week, his numbers are only good. And Rob will agree with me on that, but we all know he's frustrating, the player that he can be. You've just said it, he ripped Dortmund apart. Look at the players they've got. And then he comes to Motherwell and he looks as if he's never seen a ball before. When you're playing for Glasgow Rangers, you've got to have at least a string of games where you're good. No one game in 5 or you've been excellent or whatever. It's the opposite way about we're looking. You've got to be consistent at Glasgow Rangers. And hopefully Michael Beale's not going to take any prisoners with any of these boys. The ones that get a chance, if they don't pull their weight, I think he'll drop them. And he'll give the young boys a chance. And he'll give other signings. He's going to make signings. He's going to want to put his stamp on this team. So, but listen, when it comes to Ryan Kent, I think we've covered it all. Robert, we've got the same concerns as you. And I hope Michael Beale proves me wrong. Because for 40 grand a week, I'd be pulling him in and say, you're only worth half of that, what you've done here in the last 18 months, mate. Look at your numbers. And you might be right about this.
All right, I'll cut across you. We've been joined by Willie. Evening, Willie.
Hello, good evening. Evening,
Hi,
brothers
Willie.
and sister. Hello, Linda, pleased to meet you.
Good evening, Willie.
I've never been on when you've been on, so I'm excited. I'm excited.
No.
You never said that to me, Willie. I'm quite offended. But carry on.
David.
Well, I thought you just knew, Alex. I thought you knew.
All right, okay, all right.
Listen, can I just say, Alex, last Monday, when the show was on, you announced our new manager, Michael Beale. And last Monday night, the show, I couldn't hide my disappointment. Really, so disappointed. I mean, hey, I'm quite happy with Michael Beale. I think he'll do a job. The fact was that Bridgeman wasn't on the panel, and I was hoping to hear what he thought, how that announcement compared to the previous 17 announcements.
Well, obviously, the Bridges' first announcement was Willie Wilton, yeah, and he's not missed one since. But Bridge was away in an exotic holiday, but I'll let him give you his thoughts now. Bridgeman?
Aye.
Is this the thoughts on our new manager, Michael Beale?
No, it's the thoughts on the previous 17
holiday,
announcements.
The previous 17 announcements.
Aye.
17 managers.
Yes.
Well, I'm only going back as far as Mr. Gerrard, and that was a fabulous signing for us. Right? He was a great signing for us. And of course, the big one altogether, Mr. Souness. Souness era was just wonderful for people like me anyway. That was what a transformation it was then. Great stuff. The previous signings to that flopped. Davy White, the best that got us through the 60s at the tail end of them was Willie Waddle. But all these guys had played their part, but nothing compares to me. Nothing compares to what Gerrard's entrance. Gerrard had just fantastic. I was there at Ibrox watching him. My goodness, he was like a film star. He was just like a film star. I thought he'd put his boots on as well. He was going to play. Yeah, that's smart. But Beale, I'm very happy with. I'm very, very happy with Beale. So we'll need to see how he plays.
Well, maybe we'll have a better idea by this time tomorrow night, will we? Yeah.
Aye. Listen, I think Barisic will be back because Croatia playing Saturday. They've got the third and fourth playoff match, and they need him for the bench.
You know? He might even play in that, mate. He might even play.
Aye, he just might get a game. He might. He might.
You know, but what's your thoughts?
Well, I'm happy with Beale.
Aye.
Because I think he's an out-and-out, born and bred coach.
Right.
He's not somebody that's played and then has turned into a coach. You know, they just take it automatically. Because you've been a great player, that's you, and you go, you're going to be a great coach. At 99 times out of 100, it doesn't work. And I think this guy, as a coach, you can see his attention to detail. It was a huge difference on Saturday. Huge difference in the team. Everybody seemed to know, the players seemed to know from the first minute to the last minute exactly what they should be doing in every situation. You know? And they seem to be working.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, mate. That wasn't me. Carry on.
As I say, the players seem to know exactly what was expected of them. And they were expected to work much harder.
Aye.
Yeah, definitely, Willie. I would agree with that. It looked, and I think when Tav was spoken to today, he was the other person that got interviewed. He kind of said about, them taking on board the instructions, and a lot of the players they're more comfortable with what they've been asked to do. Albeit he did kind of say that they should be able to take instructions from any manager, but I think he was kind of hinting quite heavily that that's something that they've been working on, and they've got a greater understanding of what they've been asked to do. But you could see the changes. Tavi self was playing a bit higher up and getting into positions to get crosses in, and I think we were saying earlier on about Kent maybe having more of a free role, and Cholak not being as isolated. So quite a few sort of changes right away, Willie. I totally agree with you. Very noticeable.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I think he really knows his stuff.
What have you made quickly in the change of refereeing in the World Cup, mate? The change of, obviously, the extra time. They've looked at that differently. The pulling and hauling in the box is stopped. I think VAR's got a lot to do with that. What have you made of the refereeing overall?
I don't think it's been great. I think TV, as I said before, I think they bring in certain rules and they bring in certain directors for the referees, because they don't want them handing out a lot of cards during the World Cup, because when it comes to later stages, there might be. I know that it comes to a bit where they cancel the cards, but there might be games where they'll be quite short of a few players if they're handing out too many cards. I mean, I remember the Argentina-Ghana game. I don't know if you've seen it. The Ghana player went down and the Argentina player stamped on him, and he never even got a yellow card. And it was right in front of the assistant referee, and the VAR must have been able to see it. It was clear. And never even got a yellow card. He stamped right on the guy's waist. It was a shocking tackle. And I just think that they were turning a blind eye to a lot of stuff, because they didn't want to hand out a lot of cards, because that meant a lot of players would have been sitting in the stand.
That's a Mirren player, Willie.
Might have been.
Willie, can I ask you a quick question? A quick question? Willie, do you think you're talking about referees' performances? Do you know think the Kings 11 were cheated out a semi-final place? I'm talking about England. A couple of these decisions against England were shocking.
He was terrible. Brazilian referee, terrible. They're talking about giving him the final.
He wasn't as bad as the one that done the Argentina and Holland game, was he? We had at Ibrox for the Dortmund game.
Aye.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
terrible.
Just wanted to get your thoughts on that, Willie. Listen, mate, thanks for joining us. Just before you go, give your last thoughts. How's it going to go tomorrow night?
I think we're going to win. I think we're going to play well, and I think we're going to work hard. I think we're going to see a big change in the team. I think we're going to blow them away.
Oh, I like that, Willie. I like that. What about yourself, Robert?
Oh, I know I'm being anxious and that, and I told me, but I'm going to go for a Rangers. A Rangers 3-0 win comfortably. Rangers 3-0. Big Cholak will score, and Malik Tillman will get a goal. And my favourite will get one, as he normally does, and we really need it. James Henry Tavernier. Oh, thanks for taking my call. Really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me have my rant. Great to have Rangers Radio back, and I'll speak to you very soon. Good night, guys, and Linda. Good night.
Night, Robert.
All right.
Night, Robert.
Last word to your good self tonight, Stevie.
Listen, Ox, thanks for having us. Absolutely brilliant to be back. Great to talk about the famous. The company I've kept my right's been absolutely fantastic. My fellow Drumchattel man there, Bridge, and the luscious Linda for the North End there. Absolutely brilliant. Enjoyed the chit-chat, but you need to stop blaming me, Linda, for everything not happens on this show.
Sorry, Stevie.
He's no at fault for everything, only 50%.
That's good. That's it.
Rangers. Let's go tomorrow night. Come on, the Teddy Bears. Just get right into them, man. The old spoon burners.
Linda.
Yeah, Stevie says it was great being back on. Enjoyed all the chat and the banter. Stevie and Bridge and your good self, Fox, and everybody that phoned in. Looking forward to the game tomorrow night. I'm also going for a 3-0 Alfie double and Cholak to get the other one.
Ooh. Mr. Bridge.
Well, what can I say? I can only say this. I'm going for a Rangers victory. I'll take a 1-0. Hope it's a lot more. But I'm not. I don't think. It takes us a wee while to get into the game against the Hibs unless we score quickly. Other than that, I think it's going to be an hard-doer, lots of fouls game in all probability. But we've got to overcome them. We've got to win. For me, it's a must-win. Must-win. If we get any chance or any thoughts about winning this title, we've got to win this tomorrow night. And I can just say, thank you very much for the night, Oxchair. Well done to Stevie and Linda there, and of course the techie guys, and to all the Rangers fans all over the world, particularly Rangers on here. Listen, we are going to play the biggest game of the season tomorrow night, and I'm going. Everybody keep it going to the Rangers, because that's what we are, we're the Rangers.
Here. If you're wearing the strip tomorrow night, make sure you wear about 5 of them, I think. Right, listen, thanks to Willie and Robert for joining us. Linda, Big Stevie, and of course the one and only Bridgeman. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Everybody for listening. We'll be back with a pre-match show at 7 p.m, building up to the Michael Beale era. Thanks for listening. Stay safe and stay warm. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Today, forever and for always, we are Rangers through and through. Well, the legends come and the legends go, but Rangers live on just the same. For a new one's born when the blue shirts won, and we all remember their name. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever and for always, we are Rangers through and through. And there is no doubt what we're all about when we faced our